Hi there everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now yesterday we've just had the Twitch stream go off for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. That's going to let us know all of the different things that are coming out in March. And while it's a little bit more subdued than February, as well it should be, as in February was the anniversary, so it makes sense that this is a little quieter, there are still some very exciting things to take note of in this coming month. Now the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to March actually is a permanent feature, and it's really exciting how early we're getting this, and this is the G token system. Basically what this is within any banner from February the 28th onwards, whenever you do a multi-pull you'll be given 20 tokens. Well, this is based off of the JP version, but I don't see how it's going to be much different. And every time you do a multi-pull on there you'll get tokens in some sort of quantity. Once you hit a certain threshold, you can exchange those tokens for the EX weapon that is on that banner, or any of the EX weapons that is on that banner. And I think there's going to be other materials like Power Stones on there as well. But the reason this is such a big deal is because for people like me, and other people out there that have horrendous luck when it comes to pulling for gacha, this at least creates a ceiling for the amount of gems that you're going to spend on any one banner in order to get the EX that you're looking for. Now in JP it's about 75,000 gems before you hit the EX, but the point is still there. There is a pity system that is being introduced into Opera Omnia, and this is quite frankly huge, because it means that you can plan your pulls in advance. So for example, he isn't coming this month, but I'm really interested in Kuja's EX weapon. I can now put 75,000 gems aside for that weapon, knowing that I can get that weapon without fail. So as long as I don't spend beyond my means, I can plan for that and know that I'm going to get it. And then obviously you want to get it earlier than that, but if you don't, you still know you're going to be able to get it. So that's a really big deal. Other permanent changes to the game include the daily login updates have been changed over so that we now get power tokens in addition to basically everything else that we've got, because they haven't actually taken away from anything we got. They just updated the 100 gem that we get during the week to 400 and taken the 300 gem away in order to make room for the summon ticket, and change the summon ticket at the end of the week to power tokens. So that means that over the course of time we're going to be able to get 15s and 35s for various different characters just by saving them up. So that makes it even less of a gap of things that you then have to go out of your way to get during pulls. So say you get a character's EX weapon and you weren't necessarily looking for it, or you were trying to get a full kit and you only got the EX weapon, it means you can stop pulling earlier because you could always just exchange power tokens for the bits that you're missing. So again, that's a really big deal. And then we also have the Cactile with a K being a permanent feature, which is great because it's not a high chance thing, but if you've been playing over the course of the anniversary, whenever you've done cycle quests or anything like that, you may have spotted these flowering cactars that are slightly harder but still not particularly difficult than regular cactars, but you get a buttload of resources and experience from them. So it's great to see that they've come back as well. We've also had the Kupo cards come back this week, which is like a small subscription, if you like, kind of thing, where you buy a Kupo card, you get a little injection of gems for buying it, and then you get a little bit more every day for the next week. I have bought these in the past. I'm not sure that everyone will want to, but I don't ever buy straight gems from the game. I will only ever buy them if it comes with a costume or if it's in the form of a Kupo card or something like that. So I am by no means a whale, but I'm not a free-to-play player either. So basically whether you decide to buy these kinds of things is entirely up to you. So the first event that's coming up is actually coming up tomorrow, and the awakenings for various characters has actually already come out at the time of this video being shown. And those characters are Setsa, Waka, Ida, Papalymo, Lael and Yuri. So we're going to be getting an event alongside those characters tomorrow in the form of heretic quests, as we have done when we've had awakenings in the past. But we've also, within the video, Vaan DX weapon was shown, and we also know that Vaan is getting an alternate costume to purchase, so probably tomorrow as well. We're also getting an Ace costume later, but I think we're going to get that alongside Deuce's event, who I'll get to later. But honestly, with this event, I will probably be awakening myself, Setsa, because I think he'll make a really good friend unit, Papalymo because he's a really good magic attacker alongside people like Beatrix and Terra at 60/60, and Lael because it means that I'll be able to kind of participate in the launch meta if I choose to. Obviously, if some of the other characters are your favourites, I'm not going to go into a massive amount of detail as to why I think every character should be updated or which characters you should awakening, because I think that there are other videos that are already released that will give you a much more in-depth kind of guide as to why you should awaken certain characters. And I'll actually leave a link in the description box below to a friend of mine, 40, the Broadway Saiyan, who has done a video on just that. Now obviously with Heretic quests and Crystal Awakenings comes new banners. Now there's two new banners here, one for Vaan EX and one for Prish EX. Now you know how I said earlier the three characters I wanted to awaken were going to be Setzer, Papalymo and Lael? Well, all three of them are on one banner and they come with the chance of getting Vaan's EX as well. So if you're going to pull for either of these banners, unless you have a real loving for Ida, Waka, Prish or Yuri, there's not much reason to pull on that banner over Vaan's, to be quite honest. Vaan's banner is honestly really, really strong. It gets a complete toot from me. It's just really strong for anyone who doesn't have, like, someone as technical as Setzer, a damage dealer like Papalymo, or a launcher like Lael. It's just really good across the board. So honestly, if you don't have much from these characters, this banner is perfect for you. Prish is not so much. I really love Prish, and I really want her EX. I'm not sure I want to wade through tons of Ida and Waka to get to her, but maybe I'll do a couple of tickets on it and we'll see how it goes. So the first new character that we're going to be getting this month is going to be on the 7th of March, and it's going to be Fang. Now Fang is quite an interesting character. She functions quite similarly, she functions kind of like a hybrid between Noctis and Tidus. She's very much a debuffer character, but she's also got the capabilities to initiate sort of launches, and she can just do a lot more damage to launched characters. Like her basic passive is for your party to deal more HP damage for during a chase sequence or during a launch. So she's a character that's going to be very interesting for a lot of people, and I know that she has a lot of fans out there. I'll be interested to see what her banner looks like, because when she came out in JP, Tidus EX was the EX that was released alongside her, because she doesn't actually have one. So I'm wondering if, because we already have Tidus EX and it was released a little while ago, whether they're going to just release it again, or if they're going to change the character that goes with that banner. I don't think that they will. I think that they'll keep Tidus EX on there for a second run, purely because the event itself tends to be geared around the characters that are on the banner, and in order for them to change the character, they've then got to kind of either make it so the character they're changing for is relevant to the event itself, or they change the event to suit the character they're putting in. I don't see either of those things realistically happening. So for that reason, I probably won't be pulling on that banner because I already have Tidus EX. However, if Tidus EX has actually proven to be very, very strong, so if that is on the banner, Fang is a very good character. She kind of outpaces Noctis for the time being, despite not having an EX, although in the future Noctis is still going to be very relevant. So if you're interested in those kind of characters, then it might be a really good banner for you to pull for. And then the other new character that we're going to be getting for March is going to be Deuce on the 21st. Now Deuce will actually be really, really good for anyone who didn't get hold of both Selphie and Kate Sith over the course of January, February, as she's another support character very similar to those two, though she tends to be more focused on sort of magical attackers like Beatrix or Terra, Papalymo, etc. So she's going to pair up really, really well with them, and if you didn't get hold of them, or even if you did, getting hold of Deuce wouldn't be the worst thing for you to do, because support characters in this game are very, very prevalent in general, and so having extra ones is never going to hurt you. And Deuce is also quite future-proof. She's just recently got an EX in JP, and it's very, very strong. She's very, very good in general. It also comes with Ace's EX on this banner, which actually changes him up quite a lot, because his jackpot shot will grant buffs to your entire party randomly, but all of the ones that you get are actually really quite useful. Red card raises attack, black card lowers enemy speed, blue card grants HP Brave regen, and yellow card raises max Brave and attack. So none of those buffs and debuffs are bad. So honestly, if you're a big fan of Type 0 and you happen to get Ace's EX while pulling for Deuce, I'd be really happy about it. He's recently been reworked and gotten his EX Plus in JP, and he's actually one of the top tier mages right now. So honestly, if this is definitely a banner that you may want to consider pulling on, because I think that everything on it is really useful and it's just going to last you. If you didn't get Selphie and Kate Sith, then definitely pull on this banner. The two lost chapters that we're going to be getting this month, obviously we're still in the process of doing Aurans because it's carried over from February, are going to be Sellers on the 4th and Kane on the 18th. Now Sellers will get her, these guys will both get their EXs from these banners, and they'll get their 60/60 awakenings. Sellers has quite a nice little niche in her runic abilities, but from reading her, she doesn't gain anything that pushes her over, say, Beatrix or anything like that in order to sort of be top tier meta mage, because all of her attacks are magic based. But she does have a nice niche, and I know she has a huge fan base, so definitely consider pulling for her, if you're a big fan of her, you're not going to be disappointed with her. It's very similar to some of the characters we get in the Lost Chapters, where they're good enough for you to carry you through hard content if you really like them, but if you're pulling for meta, I wouldn't suggest it. And the same goes for Kain. Kain and his EX and 6060 make him quite similar to Zidane, because his EX can launch your opponent so that you can initiate a chase. And then his 6060 makes it so that his singular hits make it so that they can overflow through his max bravery, and that makes him strong enough, certainly, but I don't think that he's going to be meta or anything anytime soon. I'll probably be leaving these banners. Honestly, I'm going to probably not pull much at all this month, purely because I'm trying to recover my resources from Beatrix stinging me quite so hard. But that obviously isn't going to... That's my experience. Obviously, everybody else is going to have different ones. There's plenty of nice little choices that you can have over the course of this month. And then the last event that we're going to go into is actually a little bit earlier, because it's going to be a little bit bigger, and that's going to be Act 2, Chapter 1 of the story. Now, we actually only get one new character from that event, and that character is going to be Seven, also from Type 0. Now, having read through her DissidiaDB.com page, which honestly, if you haven't checked out that page, I'll leave a link in the description box below. You have to check this page out. It's so useful for everything. You can get anything from this page. But going back to Seven, having read what she does, she seems, in my personal opinion, perfectly average. There's nothing particularly special about her. She can inflict defense downs and sort of, she's just another brave HP attacker, quite honestly. She doesn't do anything particularly special. Her gear, she doesn't have an EX. She inflicts small speed downs if she has a 35, which doesn't seem that big a deal to me. The only thing that really is special about her is that her Elemental Ash has 3 elements attached to it, which is a good and bad thing. So honestly, I'm certainly not going to be going after Seven particularly, but she's interesting, and she's got a fan base, I'm sure. Whip blades are cool, so if you like her, then definitely pick her up. And then the only other thing that we're getting for March is going to be the permanent addition of Pandemonium to the World of Illusions, which is nice. It's a bunch of free gems for anyone who's done it already. We can just go through it all again. And Pandemonium, if you haven't already leveled it to 20, is useful for characters like Fang, if you've pulled for her this month. But honestly, it's nothing special. The World of Illusions weapon, if it gets redone again, it will be Zidane's. And Zidane's one is good if you've got everything else for him, but I wouldn't say that it's an absolute must-have like any of the World of Illusions weapons. Particularly Vaan's from Bahamut was very, very strong, and Edgar's, if you had him, you kind of had to have Edgar's World of Illusions weapon to make him good, whereas Zidane doesn't really suffer that problem. So if you don't want to pull for this weapon, if it even becomes available when it comes to permanent editions of Espers to World of Illusions, then you don't really need to. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Personally, if I'm going to be pulling on anything this month, it will be Vaan EX a little bit, and it will be Deuce. So beginning of the month, end of the month, I've got plenty of things that I can save up for the coming months. Like the next meta unit will be Kuja, which is quite strange because I know I talk about Beatrix a lot, and everyone knows I like Beatrix. I talk about Kuja a lot, and everyone knows I like Kuja. But those two units are genuinely like top tier meta units, so it's not just my bias. These units are extremely powerful. So I'm probably just going to go into kind of like a saving month this month, and I'm going to concentrate more on like my JP account, trying to pick that up, which I've only recently re-rolled, and you guys are more than welcome to join me on that journey through Twitch, as I'll be streaming my JP account a lot. And hopefully that's going to be it for the end of this video. I don't know why I said hopefully there. Anyways, thank you very much again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out all of the social links in the description box below, and hopefully I shall see you guys all very soon. Thanks again. Bye.